So I stopped drinking and something happened that honestly caught me off guard. I didn't expect it. I decided to stop drinking at 51 years old, and right now I'm 53. And actually, this month, this day that I'm recording this, it was the day that I decided to stop drinking. Now, let me give you a little bit of the backstory. First off, I didn't stop drinking because I had a problem. I just want to say that. I did drink maybe a beer a week or maybe a couple, but it wasn't something that I was trying to get drunk or I was drinking a beer every single night. I wasn't at that level. But I wanted to see, how does my body feel if I can stop drinking for just 30 days? So I made a commitment back in 2024 for 30 days. That was my New Year's resolution. I'm going to try to just stop drinking, eat better, and just do it for 30 days. And honestly, I couldn't believe how good I felt. So I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and see if I can go another 30 days and we'll just see. And so I did. I went another 30 days. And here's what I realized. Number one, after you get older, you start to say to yourself, okay, why are my joints hurting? Or why do I feel like I have stiffness in my ankle that I injured when I was 15? I never had that before. Now, yeah, that can be the food that we're eating, which I think a lot of the food that we're eating nowadays, it makes you have more inflammation. But I was curious about the alcohol thing because I had always kind of like with the fitness thing, I would always go on and off. I'd never ate really terrible. I'd be like 80-20. 80% of the time I'd eat really, really healthy, whole foods. But then I would go off the rails a little bit and I'd have some pizza. And I could always tell in my joints. But the kind of beer that I liked was like a wheat beer, like a Blue Moon, or just something, not an IPA. IPAs, they always affected me as far as getting a headache. But I always liked the wheat beers. I liked them with an orange, just like this right here, which, by the way, I got a little hack that I do when I go out because a lot of times we go out and we're feeling the social pressure of drinking. And I felt that. I'm like, oh, I'm going out with some friends. We're going to have dinner and everyone's ordering drinks and I'm not going to order a drink. So I always felt a little like, oh, I probably should just have a beer. And so I would have my wheat beer. I'd ask the waitress, like, hey, what do you have on draft in a wheat beer? And a lot of times it would be either Shock Top or it was, Blue Moon. And then I'd get the orange peel in there. And so I decided to just switch over to club soda and get either a lime, an orange, a lemon, something in it. Usually a lime or an orange, because a lemon, that just looks like you're drinking like regular water. And it wasn't that I had to do it to prove anything to anybody, but it just made me feel more comfortable and it tasted good. But that little hack that I was going to tell you, I don't have it here today, but a little bit of grenadine. So I said that to a waitress the other night and she was like, oh my gosh, like that's a life hack. And I was like, yeah, I just kind of came up with it. I wanted a lime with some club soda and a splash of grenadine. And it gives it just a little bit of a reddish, pinkish kind of coloring, and it tastes good. And it's not a ton of calories either. Oh, and do me a favor. Are you a casual drinker? Are you someone that still has an occasional drink? Or are you someone that's given up drinking altogether? Let me know that in the comments. I'd really love to see that. And again, no judgment here at all. But I don't want to sit here and say, like, I'm never going to drink again. I may have a beer if I want one. And I think that's the thing that I keep saying to myself is like, I don't have to say I don't drink or I'm not going to drink. It's not that I have a problem. I'm not stopping drinking because I have a problem. Never really had that. Now, little backstory, I did grow up with my mother, who is no longer with us. God rest her soul. And Mom, just want to say I'm thinking of you today. She died when she was 50, by the way, and I'm 53, so that's crazy. But she was an alcoholic, a recovering alcoholic, and I'm proud to say she was 20 years sober. But as I was growing up, I saw what alcoholism can do to a family. I saw what it could do to a person. And it was really, really hard. So I see that side of it, but that never made me feel like I'm going to become an alcoholic. Not that I couldn't, couldn't become an alcoholic, but I just never had the desire to drink to get drunk. Yes, I would drink, a few beers. Maybe I'd get a little bit of a buzz or whatever, but never really went down that road. So I'm very fortunate for that. But it's funny, my wife will say, whenever you tell people that you're not drinking anymore, it sounds like you have a problem. Maybe you just want to tell them you're doing it because you just don't like the way it makes you feel or whatever. And I'm like, well, that's the truth. But it is kind of awkward when people say, or if I said to a friend, I'm like, yeah, I gave up drinking. And they're like, oh, are you okay? Is everything okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm not going to drink alcohol because it doesn't make my body feel good. So as I'm getting older, I'm caring less about like what people think. And honestly, like anybody that I go out with now, they're cool with it, right? They're gonna get there. Like I went out with a buddy the other day, him and his wife, and he got a whiskey sour or something, right? I've never really liked the hard liquors or the bourbons or anything like that. I mean, I've drank them before and tequila, like all that stuff, but I don't drink it because it's enjoyable. You would drink it to get a buzz or something. I don't really care to get a buzz. So that's what I stick with now is just like a glass of club soda and a piece of fruit in it. And if I want to splash some grenadine in there, if I'm drinking it, out, I might do that. But for me, it started as a 30-day little challenge. And that 30-day challenge went into a 60-day challenge and then a 180-day challenge. And now, today, we're at 2 years. So there's 2 years that I have not put alcohol in my body. And I will say, if I put it back in my body, I'm probably going to know right away that I got brain fog or my knees are a little bit more sore than they are now, which all my joints they feel pretty good. I think it's because I do try to stay active. I walk every day, 10 to 15,000 steps. I try to work out regularly. I try to eat as good as I can throughout the week, even on the weekends. But there's times that I go off the rails a little bit. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't cheat at times, but I have not cheated with the alcohol. And I don't miss it. I don't miss it at all, actually. It's funny, I was walking by someone having a beer the other day. They were out and it was a beautiful day. And it was that nice, murky, kind of blue moon look. And I was like, that looks good. Because I do like the taste of it. Like, that looked delicious. But I was like, I don't need it. I'm going to go get a coffee. Or, I'm going to get a club soda with a piece of fruit in it, right? But I don't necessarily crave it. It's not like I'm waking up going like, I can't wait for the weekend so I can drink. So I just wanted to share that because if you're thinking to yourself, like you might just want to give it a try, give it a try. You don't have to commit that you're never going to drink again. Maybe you limit it. And we all know there's a lot of calories in beer. There's a lot of calories in wine. There's a lot of calories in those, pina coladas, So if you are trying to, get in shape or try to cut calories, one place to start is the drinks. Not even just alcoholic beverages, but any drink. You go to a Starbucks and you get like a Frappuccino. I mean, how many calories are in that? So I would say, again, I'm not sitting here saying like this is something that, you better stop drinking or else. It's me just sharing this with you that maybe you want to try it and see how you feel. I always like to look at how does it make me feel if I remove something from my diet or from my everyday consumption. And I've done it with alcohol and I feel pretty good and I'm going to stick to it, at least for now. And who knows? I'm going to try to do another video here next year at this time and we'll see. Has it been 3 years? You'll have to check back and see. But again, I'm not preaching. I'm not sitting here saying alcohol is evil. I'm just saying this is what I did. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I'm over 50. And I think as you get older, we got to think about these things. What makes us feel good? What doesn't make us feel good? And then eliminate the things that don't make us feel good. I think it's that simple. Cheers.